So India has welcomed the result, but not everyone shares this sentiment. The US election was closely watched in capitals across the world. Once the results became clear, the messages started trickling in. One of the first messages came from Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister. His country is at war. But it did not delay Netanyahu from wishing Trump. He called it, and I'm quoting, history's greatest comeback. Of course, Netanyahu has a lot to be happy about. He shares a great friendship with Donald Trump. In his first stint in office, Trump brokered the Abraham Accords, normalizing ties between Israel and the Arab states. He recognized Israeli sovereignty over Golan Heights. He moved the US embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. So Netanyahu would be happy with the result. Trump backed him in his first term, and he expects the same this time. But there's another leader at war who does not have that assurance. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. He did congratulate Trump, though, praising his peace-to-strength approach. But Ukraine would be nervous this morning. As a candidate, Donald Trump promised to push Zelensky to end this war. He wants Ukraine to cut a deal with Russia, one that could lead to loss of territory. There's also the question of aid. Chances are Trump won't be as benevolent as Biden. And without money, Zelensky will find this war hard to sustain. He needs the United States. He has had years of differences with Trump, so today's congratulatory message was an attempt to do some damage control. But will it work? The world is fighting two wars. Trump wants to stop them. He mentioned it explicitly in his victory speech.
Want a strong and powerful military, and ideally we don't have to use it. You know, we had no wars. 4 years we had no wars.
So Trump wants no wars. But can he influence his friend Vladimir Putin? Trump shares a good relationship with the Russian president. He's called Putin a genius. He's called him, and I'm quoting, the smartest one. That's what Trump said for Putin. In fact, Trump cannot stop praising the Russian president. But will that translate into better ties? Russia is a hostile state for America, and it's unlikely that this hostility will disappear overnight or with Trump in office. And Russia knows that too. Their sovereign fund head has floated the idea of a reset. Kremlin too seems open to it. Yet Putin has no plans to congratulate Trump, it seems.
As for congratulations, I am not aware of the president's plans to congratulate Trump on his election. Still, let's not forget that we are talking about an unfriendly country that is directly and indirectly involved in the war against our state.
So a lot of mixed signals, but China is only getting one signal, and that is more tariffs. Trump's win means more trouble for Beijing. Last time Trump waged a trade war against China, this time will be no better. Trump's already promised a second round of tariffs, this time on Chinese imports. So Beijing has very little to be happy about, and it showed in their statement. There were no congratulations for Trump, but China said it hoped for, and I'm quoting, peaceful coexistence. Iran, on the other hand, has no such expectations. Trump 1.0 was bad for Tehran. Trump 2.0 could be worse. And the country says it is prepared for it.
The election of the U.S. president doesn't have anything specific to do with us. Major policies of America and the Islamic Republic are fixed, and they won't heavily change by people replacing others. We have already made necessary preparations in advance.
Which brings us to Europe. They woke up to the possibility of a second Trump presidency. Most of them were quick to congratulate. French President Macron wished Trump. So did Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez. The NATO chief too chimed in. But that doesn't mean they're not worried. Trump's first term wasn't so great for them. He had patchy relations with leaders. He expressed disregard for the European Union. He threatened to quit NATO and even the United Nations. So Europe is rethinking its options. But there's one person who's happy amid all of this, and that is Hungary's Viktor Orban. He's hailed Trump's victory, calling it, and I'm quoting, a much-needed win for the world.
I see a shining victory, perhaps the biggest comeback of the history of Western politics. It's been a huge fight. He was threatened with prison. His wealth was confiscated. They wanted to kill him. The whole media world turned against him in America, and he still won.
So the coming days will change a lot. While campaigning, Donald Trump promised a lot, like ending the Ukraine war in 24 hours or pledging new tariffs on China. Will he act on them? When he takes office, will he act on all of these promises, or was this just campaign rhetoric? We'll find out in the coming months.